Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Pesachim Mishna Dalet. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss slaughtering a Korban Pesach if a person did so with Hamess in his possession. Now, this is not allowed. You're not allowed to have Hamess, not just on you, you can have it in possession even at home when you bring the Korban Pesach. We learned this. There's two Pesukim that speak about this lo taseh, and that is firstly the first one is in Sefer Shemot. Lo tizbach al Hamess dam simchi v'lo yalin hagi ad boker. And there's another one later in Sefer Shemot, Perek Lamed Daled, Lo tishhad al Hamess dam zibchi v'lo yalin ad boker zebach hag Pesach. Okay, now what do Chachamim say? Now, I'm just going to open up this quickly as an introduction. Chachamim say, it says zibchi, right? What's zibchi? It's talking about the Korban Pesach. And anytime someone has Hamess in his possession, right? If a person does any of the four avodot that we mentioned, right? Shahita, the zirika, right? Or is maktir, right? Or maktir, or had mibna habura, right? Anyone, right? The person, meaning anyone, the person who does the shahita, the person who does actually the sprinkling on the mizbeach, or anyone part of the group, right? Who still has Hamess in his possession, even though the Hamess is not, on him. It's outside of the courtyard of the Beit Hamikdash. He still is lokeh, right? This is considered a lo ta'aseh, but the Korban Pesach doesn't become pasul. Right? As opposed to last two Mishnah, we spoke about the Korban Pesach becoming pasul. Over here, the Korban Pesach doesn't become pasul, but he's over on the lo taseh. That's going to be mostly the primary discussion around Mishnah. And the question, does it extend to other korbanot as well? Right? That you're not allowed to bring another korban when you have Hamess in your possession. Okay? So Ashlochayta Pesach ala Hamess, over below taseh, a person slaughters the Korban Pesach with Hamess in his possession, he's over on the lo taseh, as we mentioned Sukim. Yehuda Omer, Afala Tamid. Right, Rabbi Yehuda comes and says, even the Korban Tamid, the daily Korban Tamid that you bring in the morning and the afternoon, also you're not allowed to have Hamess in your possession. He learns it because the pasuk says Zivchi, right? Zivchi miuchadli, my specific Korban. What's my specific Korban? And Hashem saying, my Korban Tamid, my daily Korban. Right? So according to him, you can't have Hamess, right? Meaning a person has Hamess that's with him, alongside him. There is over below ta'aseh. Now Rabbi Shimon comes and says, HaPesach, Arba'asar Dishmo Hayav, Veshelo Dishmo Patur. Okay, so Rabbi Shimon is going to differentiate between if he does it right with the right purpose or the wrong purpose. So the Korban Pesach is brought on the 14th. If you brought it Dishmo, right, with the right purpose, and you have Hamess in your possession, Hayav, you're going to be Hayav. Right? Hayav for violating having Hamess in possession. You brought an appropriate Korban. But let's say you brought it for the wrong purpose. You brought the Korban for the wrong purpose. Because it's a pasul Korban, you're going to be patur from the Malkut, from violating there's no lo ta'aseh violating, because you didn't really bring an appropriate Korban. So even though you had Hamess on you, it was an inappropriate Korban. So you're not going to be Hayav, you'll be patur. But all other Korbanot, according to the Shimon, you'll only be hayav for one. If you're hayav for Korban Pesach, you're going to be patur from other korbanot. If you're hayav for other korbanot, you're going to be patur from the Korban Pesach. So now, all other korbanot, ben lishman, ben shelo lishman, patur, right? Whether it's appropriate, inappropriate, you're patur, right? Because you're going to be hayav for the Korban Pesach, you were appropriately on the 14th. So all other korbanot, you'll be patur from. Right? You can only be hayav for one of them. Uba mo'ed, let's say it's on the holiday itself, on Hag HaMatzot. Right? So the holiday started. You can't bring the Korban Pesach. Bring it on Yudalit before the holiday. So if you brought it on the holiday, the Shmo, Tur. If you brought it with the right purpose, Tur. Supposed to bring a Korban Pesach then. The Shelo Lishmo, Hayav. Right? If you brought it with for the wrong intention, you're going to be Hayav. Right? Why would you be Hayav if you brought it for the wrong intention? Well, you can't bring it today, right? You're not supposed to bring it today. And Rambam says over here, you're going to be hayav like all other korbanot that you're not allowed to bring, Hamess with, because it's going to be considered like any other korban that you can be hayav for. Now, it's on condition also that it's pushed off to Pesach Sheni, right? Now, if it's pushed off to Pesach Sheni, you can't bring this Korban Pesach then therefore you would be hayav. Now, all other korbanot that you brought on the holiday itself, ben lishman, ben shelo lishman, hayav. You're going to be hayav for it, right? Because it's any other korban that's brought appropriately, right? Or even inappropriately, you're going to be hayav for because you have Hamess on you. Except for the korban hatat that is brought inappropriately, and this is an important rule that we learn in Masechet Pesahim, right? Right? Even though if it's brought even though it didn't work for the Baalim, the Korban itself is still kasher, except for the Pesach and the Hatat. Pesach and the Hatat. Pesach bizmano v'Hatat b'chol zeman. Right? Pesach at the time and the Hatat at any time. Right? It would be an issue, and therefore, therefore over here the exception to the rule is going to be the Hatat. That if you brought it to the Shema, you're going to be a tour from it. Halacha is like